Test, test.
I'm going to turn off the music for a second. Okay, go ahead.
Test, test. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it looks like it's working, so. Got some audio coming through. And you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can't see me unless you pull open the Twitch stream or the YouTube stream. YouTube might be better.
Okay.
Do that.
Twitch streamed.
Or either way, yeah. Actually, the thing with having the Twitch stream open is you can see some of the... Actually, it won't matter. You'll see the chat on both because you'll see it in the... It'll actually pop up in the video, so...
Cool.
Whoops. Hey, Felipe. Sorry, we're streaming. Say hi to our audience. I need to lock this. I totally forgot about locking it. Last time Todd jumped in.
Oh, wow.
Not knowing what we were doing. Sound and videos for both of you is great. Welcome, Mazen. Hello, Jamon. Perfect. Oh, I need to make sure. Oh, your name doesn't show up on this view. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll just keep it in the just chatting mode here. Now, I need to go out and do some tweets and stuff. But welcome, Mazen. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some fun stuff. Fun stuff planned here. Let's see here. Let's see. Trying to find the tweet. There it is. Still trying to wake up too. How's your day going so far, Mazen?
Good, good. For me, I'm on the East Coast, so...
Oh, yeah.
It's afternoon now.
Moore says Mazen's not heard on stream. Is that true?
Test.
Can you hear him?
Hello, testing. You can hear me, Jamon, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Maybe
let us know, audience.
YouTube versus Twitch?
Could be, but it should be the same stream. I'll open loopback. We're still working the kinks out of this. You know, like this dual coding thing, we're still working the kinks out of it a little bit. Okay.
Okay, now they can hear me.
They can? Okay. How's the audio? Or like, sorry, I can hear him on Twitch, but his mic is a bit quiet. Okay, let me go to... Can you turn yours up, your gain up a bit, Mazen?
Yeah, it's up all the way right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely hear you now. All right, cool. Much better, says Mark. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Good, good.
Okay, I'm going to also post this in announcements. YouTube.infinite.red and also our Twitch TV /Jamon Holmgren. All right. And I'll put this also in our community announcements. I should just have Derek do all this. I'm always doing this like in the middle of like on the fly.
Yeah.
We should just have
a bot that does it for you every time.
Derek bot. All right, I posted it there. Okay. Cuckoo. We're in. All right. Well, so first off, welcome to the stream, Mazen. Really excited to have you there and have you here. And also, I apologize in advance for coughing in your ear. Still have this COVID cough after, shoot, how long has it been? It's been like 3 weeks. More? I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Mateo.
you-
Go ahead, Mazen.
No, I was just gonna say, the cough still lingering, but I feel like you feel better now.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Good.
Hey, Drew. Missed you in the stuff there. Let's see. Adam, no tweeting. I had to tweet. Mark says, I heard that if you take Mucinex for a few days, it'll go away. I have an inhaler. What's on the menu today? Well, we are going to be working on a React Native app. We're going to be implementing right to left language support with Arabic, because Mazen speaks Arabic. Your parents speak Arabic at home, right, Mazen? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So growing up, we pretty much spoke Arabic at home, and then
Yeah.
school and then outside was English.
And where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Nigeria.
Mhm.
My parents are originally Lebanese.
Lebanese, yep. A truly international guy. Plus, he has a flawless American accent, despite all of that. I would have thought he was a native-born American, so. Hey, Robin. Robin's in the chat.
Hey, Robin's back.
Robin, you're going to be sitting on this screen someday. Spike of anxiety.
Just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. She should have known better.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got a... There we go. Hey, Kate. Good morning. We're just getting started here. Mateo says that's Krasnik. I had to do that in my first app ever. Surprisingly simple. I had to add a bunch of line items flex start. Interesting. Flex start. Instead of left and right, right? Like, there's kind of a... Yeah, that's interesting. All right.
Yeah,
well, you know
that's
what?
something we'll talk about too.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. So why don't we get some things kind of rolling here, Mazen, while people are kind of getting set up in chat. I need to stop myself from clicking on the Zoom window because it makes everything blink. Okay. I'm gonna try switching over to the dual coding screen. I still see Mazen. That's good. The screen is a little bit smaller than my other one. I probably need to do some... I'm not going to do it now, but I probably need to do some tweaking of my layout here for dual coding. All right. And then I'm going to bring
It
over...
seems good. I have it shrunk like really small on my end, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be... I'll probably have to blow up the text size and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess one of the things here is, do we want to start with like an Ignite app, or do you want to start with a brand new, fresh React Native app?
Totally up to you. I think the goal is, and again, all this data is in like the JSON code that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The goal is we'll have 3 pages.
Okay.
We'll have a list, or we'll call them cards, of
Okay.
the teams. I'll have some information about each team.
Right.
And then you click on each card. It'll take you to a list of players. And the objective is for those 2 screens to kind of see, there's like 3 talking points about right to left
Okay.
that I want to kind of point out. And then the third one, we can kind of have it like a modal view, but also another screen of like the individual players, like card, like information about that player.
Yep.
So we do, everything will be translated, like the text will all be translated, even the English parts. So we could just use a base Ignite or even just a plain Expo app. Totally
Okay.
up to you.
Let me think about this. I mean, there's benefits to both.
Yeah.
Let's do a plain Expo app. I think the only thing is, well, but let's use one of their templates probably. So Expo, are you able to see okay? Like what I have on my screen, Mazen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call this. What are we gonna call this? RTL soccer.
Yeah.
Or
RTL
what do you want to
soccer.
call
The
it?
data is from the 20 what are we 22 FIFA Arab Cup.
FIFA Arab Cup. Okay. And I shouldn't say soccer because that just totally brands you as an American. All right.
That's fine.
So FIFA Arab Cup.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a way to make this look a little, or maybe I should just say Arab Cup?
Just Arab Cup. That's what I've been naming it on my end. Yeah.
And let's go with do we want tabs?
I would say we probably want screens more than tabs.
Okay. So
we can start off with the tabs and then
good call. Yeah.
Because it already comes installed, I believe.
Yeah.
With the other stuff we need. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of just does some more setup for us. Cool. Mateo says, basically by default, align items flex start is default behavior, but doesn't work for right to left unless align items was explicitly set. That was in React Native 55 or something. Maybe it's changed since. That's good to know. Mm-hmm. Robert says, go ahead.
Yeah. Before you start it, let's also add a couple of packages just to kind of save some time.
Okay, sure.
With that. What? Do you mind opening the package.json? I just want to see what's in there.
Yeah. And then I do need to share with you a code share link. So I'll do that in a bit here. But okay, all right, VS Code. We get it. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So Arab Cup, and then these are the dependencies here.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't look like internationalization here.
Yeah, internationalization is not installed. That's one thing.
Right.
Cool. So there's two packages and that I kind of prefer.
Okay.
And one of them is React-i18 Next.
Okay. And
then the other one is there's three actually. And there's i18 Next. It's like the general. I think you need both of them. Yeah, you need both of them.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then just Expo's localization app package.
And Expo localization we use even when we're not using Expo. Mm-hmm. Because it's really good and it works for both.
Yeah. And nice thing about Expo localization is we will start off probably by just detecting the like device language, and then eventually like we'll have the user toggle.
Right.
And Expo localization will pull the device's location, so we can kind of change the location on our device and see it actually change.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that for sure. Cool. So you want to add all three of these?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, we probably want to do Expo install.
Yeah. So for Expo install for the Expo localization, I think the other two will just be add.
I see. I don't think it matters because like if it doesn't know it, it'll just do yarn add.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Let's see. And these are full dependencies, not dev dependencies. So save 6 new dependencies. Looks like it worked.
We might need like i18's because this is TypeScript. We might need like it's typed, but we'll probably figure that out later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. All right, I'm gonna give you access to this, but I'm gonna do it on my other screen. Before I do that, let's catch up on. Actually, can you catch up on chat while I get this set up?
Mark said, "Don't use FIFA in there, or you'll get stuck by the copyright strike." Yeah, you're right. I will say thanks to them for helping with the data. So they did help with that stuff. Hey, Julian.
trying to send it via Slack here.
Got it.
Hopefully this works.
Okay, should be in.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Let's see here. There's some other questions in here. Robert says, "Do you guys have some experimentations with i18n on Gatsby, on internationalization on Gatsby?" I have not used Gatsby in a very long time, so I have not. These are YouTube comments, by the way, so you're probably not seeing them.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was coming from.
Yeah. Then he follows up, do you already build a smart TV with React Native? We've done some smart TV work with React Native, and we have some more, hopefully in the works at some point. But yeah, I mean, there's still some, it's still a pretty niche part of the stack. Mateo has to be back later. Cool. Hey, Julian. Thought this was an Age of Empires stream. It can turn into one if that's what you guys want. It can turn into one.
Oh, it's been a while since I played Age of Empires.
Are you in, Mazen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there.
I'm in now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you change something in the package JSONs just so I can see if it's working, like the version or something?
But we change Expo.
Oh, perfect. It worked. Yeah. Real time too. Cool. Dude, this is so cool. I love live share. It's so cool. Yeah. All right. So let's run this. Let's get this started up here. So okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna run on the iOS simulator. And then we're going to get into coding.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, Rizwan. How you doing this morning? Avinash says, are we going to see pluralization, interpolation, selection, and extraction implementation in this video? We're going to get as far as we can, but those are some great ideas. Pluralization specifically, I really like. Interpolation, what do you mean by interpolation? Mazen, do you know what he means by?
No.
Okay. I don't know what interpolation is.
Yeah.
Rizwan says, I'm not doing so great. I was eaten by the demon of Wix React Native navigation. I'm sorry about that. Oh, yes, we do want to do that.
Are we just going to stick to iOS?
You know, we could have both. I have an M1 Max here, so we can actually handle it.
Let's start with iOS. I know there's going to be something I'm going to bring up when we get to the whole Arabic piece that's only iOS specific, so we'll kind of see how it happens or works out with Android.
By the way, when I do, what do you call it, expose, Mazen's video turns purple in that, just so you know that's what's happening. It's, you know, it's just part of the deal here. So when I'm trying to, I mean, I guess, I'm not used to this, but like finding VS. See, I told you I'm not used to this. Okay, there's VS Code. All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Start with that. Cool. So we have tab 1 and we have tab 2. They're both working. Open up the code for the screen. Changing the text, save the file, your app will automatically update. All right, cool. All right, so we do have a JSON file, and we need to put that in somewhere. We could probably, let's see here, there's assets. That's probably not a bad place to put it. We could just create a data folder in there. And then in there, can you drop in your JSON file?
Sure. Should we do it in assets, or should we just create a complete folder and call it i18n? Because then that's going to house
good call.
Not just the JSON files, but also other aspects.
Good call.
Yeah, let me.
i18n.
So
Were you doing that? Sorry. I just created one. Okay. Yep, that sounds good. There's i18n.
Okay. So I'll bring over the English.
And usually we would have an app folder that we would put a lot of this stuff under, but in this case we're kind of following the setup that Expo has. Modal screen, tab 1 screen, tab 2 screen. Nice, I'm seeing it. Cool.
Yeah. So very simple, just some common characters or like names I had in initially. And then our data, pretty much teams and players. And then because it's all here, we won't worry about like fetching the data and all that stuff.
Right.
And we will look at like when you're pulling a object, it's called in translation, you'll kind of see how that is. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. All this data. So these are which 2 teams?
So we're actually going to do 3 teams. We're going to do Algeria, Lebanon, and Palestine.
Lebanon and Palestine. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So we have 3 teams, and then there's even nicknames, and then there's players, and the players have a team ID. So that corresponds to the team ID there. It'd be fun to do this with MobX State Tree and kind of show how that works, because there's some really cool things you can do with relationships between entities in MobX State Tree. But yeah. Hey, Derek.
This data was pretty much what I pulled together for my React Native crash course for Gaza Sky Geeks. So,
cool. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Mazen did taught a class for a boot camp in Palestine, Gaza Sky Geeks, and also, by the way, Mazen is my co-host in React Native Radio, so you'll hear his voice. This is your first time seeing his face, maybe, if you've been listening.
Probably.
Darren says howdy. Jose says nice to meet you, Mazen. Derek says interpolation, meaning inserting localized text into otherwise static text string. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
definitely.
Yep, we can do that. Place a string into a translation. Yeah. So like you might have a string, or you might want to say, I have 15 new messages, but the 15 needs to be dynamic, right? And so where are you putting the number 15 in that message or in that sentence? You know, like in some cases you might say, like in certain languages, you might say, I have new messages 15, or I have, I don't know, that's a terrible example, but you know what I mean? Like the order of the words might be different.
We can do an example like that for sure. I have an idea of where we could put that in the grand scheme of it all. So I also did add the Arabic.json file, if you want to open that.
Aha, there it is. So this was EN, of course, meaning English. And here's Arabic. And my, how do I make, it's telling me, it's like freaking out because, hey, you might confuse these. Okay, that's interesting. This is super cool. Okay, yeah. So there's some Arabic, and for those of you in the audience who speak Arabic or read Arabic, you'll be able to read what's going on here. Go ahead, Mazen.
One also interesting to like keep in mind is in Arabic, when you're reading letters, it's right to left, as you all know. But when you're looking at numbers, so for example, age or number, you read it left to right.
Is that right?
So, yeah. So there's going to be a little bit of, I'll explain later when we get to that piece, like how we're going to display it on the screen. So
no kidding.
Let's say you're looking at that player right there.
Yeah.
Jamon.
Yep.
Hold on. It's really small on my end. But
yeah. Sorry. And the Arabic characters are even smaller. Yeah.
So if you see it right there.
Yeah.
His age is 29.
Okay.
So but when you read it in Arabic,
the 9
you
looks
read it
pretty similar.
Tis'a wa ashirin. So what that means is 9 in 20.
Okay.
So it's like that's the 9 that the letter on the character on the right is the 9, looks like a 9, and the one on the left is a
20.
2. So 29
Yeah.
You read it left to right.
9 and 20.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
So
I
it's
love
kind of like
I
a
love
mind
these
meld.
types of
You're reading
changes.
right to left, and
Yeah.
then you get to a number, then you have to jump
Yep.
left to right, and then jump again.
By the way, Manohar says, we miss Robin. We all miss Robin. By the way, today is Robin's first day back at Infinite Red. She's even in the audience here, of course. And that's pretty awesome. Okay, so interpolation, dynamically changing a string value. Example, hello, and this is Avinash. Name 1 and name 2, something like that. Yep, totally. i18n JS handles both interpolation and pluralization. I don't know if we've messed with i18n JS. Yulian, do you recommend i18n JS?
I've always used both of them. And the reason I like the React i18 Next is it has a hook use translation that makes it easier. So you don't have to, for those that use kind of Ignite, we have a like a translate function that then does the whole typing and TypeScript and all that. But this one kind of handles it all for you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. This is super cool. I'm so excited. Let's see. But the structure of the data, like the TID and stuff, this is all the same. And so we do have, it's kind of interesting because we have data and translations sort of in the same thing. You may not always have that, but that's okay. Like we're going to simplify it for the purposes of what we're doing here.
Yeah, I was thinking about like putting teams and players in a fetch. But I just thought it would be easier if all the data is in one spot. We don't have to worry about that and just kind of focus on it all.
So what do you want to do here, Mazen? You want to?
Yeah, I want to go into the index file
and
strip out the
app
bottom navigator
or app TSX. Okay. The navigator.
Yes. So it's the other one. We want to go into the navigator, right?
Am I in the wrong? Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm in there. Yep.
Yeah. So what I kind of want to do is I want to strip out.
Feel free to drive, and I'll just kind of follow along here.
We don't necessarily need any of these.
Okay.
We'll create our own screens. Essentially, we'll do 3 screens. Let's start with just the first one, and we'll call it the stack.screen. Oops.
And of course, stack is coming from React Navigation.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
And then I need the component, which we haven't created yet, but we'll set it up now. We'll call it players screen.
And Rizwan will be watching with envy since he is using React Native navigation. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know. Yulian says I haven't used anything but i18n JS, so not familiar with others.
Cool. So now that we have teams, we'll create a screen, a new screen, and do a new file.
Yep.
Teams screen.tsx.
Okay. It's the new one. All right.
So let's just should have prepared this to
don't worry about it. We got lots of time. It'll still go by really quickly, but that's the cool thing. So here's the thing about live streams is like literally this is not a talk, you know, and this has to be at a sustainable pace or else like we both get too exhausted. So feel free to stop, chat with people in chat, like take your time with this. Like it's totally cool.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do.
Basically, if it was like a talk 3 times a week, I wouldn't do it.
Fair enough. Cool. So I'm going to go back to the index file.
All right.
And I'm actually going to create a type just to make this easy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So TypeScript type here to kind of like explain to TypeScript what we're looking for in terms of the params here.
Mm-hmm. So actually, I don't know why it imported it from. Oh, it's putting everything in types. Whoa. Do we want to do that?
When I saved it,
formatted. Yeah,
formatted.
That's pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna add a prettier thing here so that it's not quite so like the print width just seems a little restrictive here. I tend to like something like 120 just to maybe that's a little wide. We can maybe do 100.
I forgot that because we're in Expo, it already has it creates a stack for us. So
yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go there and update the root stack param list. So
where am I? Root stack. How do I find you? How do I find you?
So I think if you click on live share, there's a way where you can like click my name and then follow.
Oh,
me.
okay, there we are. All right, cool. Yeah. Awesome.
So all I did was I kind of created this here.
Root stack.
Okay.
Root stack param list, and then you have teams. And why are you passing through undefined just for?
We're not going to have any props for teams.
Yep.
In the future, we can kind of set it up. We'll have our players screen, and just to make it easy, we're going to pass in team name, which will be a string. So you'll know like the team you clicked on was Algeria, Lebanon, or Palestine in this case.
And then it'll load up the players.
And then we'll actually pass in the players too. Just to make it
okay.
easy.
That works. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll uncomment that for now, and we'll come back to it, and we'll set up the players type later.
Yeah, okay.
So going back to index, we need to import our team screen.
Hi, Yura. So. I'm doing pretty well. I still have a little bit of a cough. But yeah, doing pretty well overall. I assume you were asking me, but you could, Mazen, they were asking, Yura was asking how's our health?
Doing well. Can't complain.
Nice.
Can't complain. You do a good job, Jamon, of kind of juggling the chat, and that I guess I'm getting there.
You know what? When you're focused on coding, it's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
Yeah. So we'll go back to team screen.
Yeah.
Nice thing about team screen is because we're in TypeScript. We need to set. I think it's native stack
prop
screen
or
props.
Screen props. Yeah. Import
For some reason, when you're doing
live share, let me try
live share. It
it
doesn't import.
Let me try to import while you're doing that. Whoa. What's the key combination? Is it nope, it's not that. Import from native stack. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. All right. And this one as well. I think it's command command period. All right, there we go. We got them both.
Oh, I'll try that next time. So we know we're in the teams, so that way we know if we have items coming in from navigation.
Wait, hold on. You're passing in here. Key of params lists.
Yeah.
So that's the route name.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So we know this is the team screen.
Yeah.
In another one, like we mentioned, like with players, we're going to pass in team name. We would mention that for root stack param list, we're on the teams, and then we can then access route.params.team name.
Oh, okay.
This is navigation and route. Yeah. So we have the information kind of coming in from that screen.
Nice.
It's almost like prop drilling into your components, essentially.
That sounds good. I'm going to, because of the size of our how we're zoomed in here on the text, I do need it actually to be a little bit smaller print width here. in order to show everything. Mud and Moss says, question about a native module. Sorry if it's off topic. If I need to present a UI view controller on the root view, do I just call root view.present? It's been quite a while since I've built native stuff. I remember, if you're talking about like a modal, essentially, I believe it was something like present view controller. But remember that when I was doing it was like Objective-C, so they may have changed things. So I assume you're talking about a modal, Mud and Moss. All right, use translation. I guess I have to import that from React. And that's from React i18n next.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And that's that hook that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
T is a convention, right? Like T is fairly universally understood to be translation, right?
Yeah, and it's a function, and we'll use it now. I'm actually going to go back to types.
Okay.
And I have the types already set up for us. So here are the players.
There's the player.
And
okay.
then the team.
PID, TID. And those are two different things. There's string and a number, but that's okay. Yeah. First name, last name, age, which can be a string or a number. Interesting.
Because with Arabic translations, the number will have to be considered a string.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that's really fascinating.
We could change all the data in the JSON file
could
for
normalize
age to be to be a string, but
that is fascinating. How do you? Let's say that all you had was the string Arabic numbers. How would you convert that to, what would you call these? Ordinal or whatever. The number, basically the number type.
Yeah, great question. I have no idea. I've never.
That is fascinating. Because if you were to want to do some math on that, then that would be, maybe it's the year of their birth, for example, instead of their age, and you wanted to calculate their age. That's fascinating. That's something that maybe someone in the chat knows how to do that, but obviously we could Google it. But yeah, all right, that's really fascinating. Numbers can be so age could be a string because of the data. That makes sense. Okay,
because of the data. Yeah, this is probably more data driven.
Right.
Types essentially.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And I am.
So now that we have the type, I'm going to use the translation now to pull in our team data, because this is our team screen. Okay. So we'll say teams, and we're going to take it from the type we just set up. Okay. Now I'm going to use the teams function. Sorry, the T translate function. Hey, Flexbox. I'm just going to pull teams. Now, there's something interesting here where, what was the command period? Doesn't work. Command period. It won't work for you because you're live sharing, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Add it in there. Perfect. Yeah. So I believe there is going to be an error now because we're pulling the data from our translation data, our array. Okay. We have to give it an option, and the option is return objects. It says you need to pass in an i18n next instance by using init react i18n i18 next. Okay. Yeah. And return objects true. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much to tell it this is going to be not a string. It's going to be an array of objects or object in any case. Yeah. So it will do the translation for you and give you an array rather than a string. So instead, if, for example, if you want to say if we look at our text, we have common.teams, which is a string. Let me find where you are. Sorry. Let me click back to you. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So teams, for example, is a string. So if we go back and we want to say, team string, and that's just T, and that's common.teams. And now this is a string. So I can't map, if I want to map over it, I'm going to map over, TEAM, like I'm going to map a string rather than an array or an object, essentially.
And it did, like TypeScript did pick up that that's a string. So
yes, exactly.
Interesting. The T function, if you are passing in return objects, it recognizes that, and its return value does include. Okay, that totally makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. And then we're gonna, just for posterity here, we'll do players also, just so we have both translations.
Oh, okay. Yep. So we have the list of players. This is all players, not just for that team.
Correct. All players. And then we'll simplify
I need to
that
import
later.
that.
Now, this part's going to be really cool. What we're going to do is we're going to set the title for our page, and we'll just do something.
A use effect. Okay.
Yeah. I believe actually the docs for React say you should use layout effect.
Oh, really? Is there a kind of a stated reason for that? Do you know, or?
I don't remember. I remember just seeing it in the docs that's what they recommend you use.
And we're passing in an empty dependency, which means we're just running this once.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And all I'm going to do is just going to call navigation.setOptions, and then I'm going to...
This is where we set the title. Yeah.
Yes. Live coding. Wow.
Take your time.
And the title is just going to be Teams string. So instead of that, we don't need to initialize it. We'll just copy it over.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, we're saying, okay, common dot teams. Let me go back. Common teams is just the word teams here, but in Arabic it would be. Can you say that word?
Laibet.
Okay. Laibet. Okay, cool. So that's what will pop through to the title.
Oh,
nice.
Teams.
Sorry to put you on the spot here.
Teams. Yeah, I was just thinking. Al-Fira.
Al-Fira?
So it's Al-Fira, the teams. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Kenneth says, what happens when you pass return objects to what is expected to be a string?
That's a good question. Let's try it.
Just try it.
Return objects true.
If I save, so title is string or undefined.
Yeah, if you hover over the T, you'll see now that it's saying it returns a string, not title, the T. It'll tell you like it's returning a string or a string array.
Interesting. Right? Okay. So it appears to kind of recognize that.
What happens if we save this? Like what does the title on the page look like now?
It looks like it's just common.teams.
Oh.
Probably. Okay, so if we remove that, can you remove that and save it?
Oh, common.teams. We haven't set up our internationalization yet. That's why. Ooh, okay. That's actually a good point now.
Oh, so right now it just like everything's a string.
Yeah, exactly. T's like, wait, you haven't told me anything about my internationalization.
Yeah, so okay. Let's go do that.
Let's create a new file.
Okay.
We'll just call it i18n.tsx.
It's like typing Google into Google.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. By the way, David, you're French. Have you done internationalization translation for like French apps before? I assume so, but I don't know. Like maybe you do everything in English. All right, i18n TSX, cool.
Yeah. So then we're going to import these two, and then I'm going to import both of our files. Come on, Copilot.
we're not seeing the Copilot on our side. So, but yeah, so it'll just look like your magic when you're
when you tab over.
Out. Yeah,
either that or really slow internet connection. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm basically telling it translation. I'm setting up my resources. So here's every possible language that we currently have access to.
Okay.
And here's like,
and that you're importing those objects. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then here's the data for it.
Mm-hmm.
So i18n, and then we're going to use
resources okay. Gotcha.
And then we're going to init
third-party module. Okay. Interesting.
So we're going to pass it our resources.
Mm-hmm.
So it knows what languages. And then we're also going to add in a fallback language just in case we're not able to pick up what the language is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, it'll be like, all right, we're just going to default to English in this case.
Real quick.
And then we're just going to
sorry. Yeah. You're exporting. Yep. Perfect. Just real quick, Flexbox says, yes, I've done French, German, English. I use the same stack as Ignite. It's working like a charm, but no right to left support. Could be a nightmare, I'd imagine. Well, we'll kind of see like a better way to do that. John Major says, hey. And then Justin says that he's excited to see.
Thanks for the love, Justin.
So you're exporting the actual i18n thing out from there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And thanks for the follow, Eltman. Appreciate it. Okay, yeah. So this use here first extends it with init React Native i18n next, which I forget again what we're getting from that. You'll have to point it out as we kind of get through some of this stuff. Yeah. And then initializing with resources, and then what is our fallback? Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Like what's our kind of default? Because in some cases you may be like, this is an Arabic first app, and so we're going to fall back to Arabic, but someone using English, someone using something else might, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then we'll next, as we continue, we'll come back and we'll adjust this file to pull either from async storage or our device to know what our language is.
So we can set it once.
We auto set it based on the device language.
Now, can you pull it from like the OS's
yes,
internationalization? Okay, that'd be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll get to that next.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the index file, and we're actually just going to import the file.
Okay. And Adam,
can you do that? Just because that'll be easier.
Yeah. Sure. We're importing from i18n. Or wait. I'm already in i18n. So we just want to import i18n. Sorry, what?
No, we're not. You're going to have to go.
Oh, I have to go back
i18n.
one. i18n and then i18n. Okay.
Yeah. We could rename it our file to index. And then
do we want to import the object, or just import it like this?
Just import it like that. Okay. We want to like initialize it and init internationalization in our app.
Adam says, strange question. Is there an API you can send your en.json to request a best effort translation in real time to another language? So this is sort of like a automatic service. That's a cool idea.
Not that I know of. I kind of looked into it to basically kind of send my en.json file to be translated to Arabic, and it didn't work out. There was like a lot of restrictions. One of them was like it can only do 30 characters, and it was doing literal translation, so it didn't really work out. And with names, like in this app, it didn't work out. So shout out to my mom, who I actually sent the file to, and she was able to navigate through a JSON file and pretty much create the ar.json
That's
file
awesome.
that we have in here.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Flexbox says dates, let's hear, plus dates support, plus currency support, like $100 or 100 euro. 2222 or 2222. So there's all that stuff because like obviously localization, internationalization is not just translation. It's more than that, as Flexbox is pointing out. It's easy. You quote just need to translate. Yeah, it's going to be fun. But we're going to start with the basics and we're going to move from there. Yeah. All right.
So I think now if you go to our app, Jamon, we should see our title, right?
It says, well, let's try this again. Teams. There it is.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah.
So
that's what
I'm going to do actually is while you're there, I'm going to change the fallback language to AR. I'm going to save.
And I think I need to refresh.
You need to refresh.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just like that, we can see that it is doing the translations. Obviously, manually changing it in code isn't what we want, but it is it's a start. Very cool.
So I'll bring us back to English. And there's actually something else I kind of want to show. And we'll go to the team screen.
Okay.
Now, when you're on a screen, so let's say this screen, we're going to create a button in the navigation header that opens up a modal, and then in that modal, you can kind of toggle your language.
Okay.
Well, given that you're on your screen, navigation.setOptions doesn't trigger.
Okay.
All the time. So what we'll do is, and we'll kind of see this happen later. We'll move this into a function. Okay. So setting our title into a function.
Yep.
We'll call it so it does set it.
Right.
And i18 next, which
I can import.
Imported. Yeah. Has a pretty cool on change function.
Okay.
And it basically says, okay, whenever my language changed, go ahead and trigger this callback.
Ooh.
And in this case, we just set our title. So
this
is a pretty cool function. Yeah. You can use that function wherever you want now. And, I know they have more than just language changed.
Yep.
So you can, I don't know, if you want to do some sort of animation, like, hey,
right.
I don't know, throw confetti on the screen whenever you change the language. You can do that on using this.
That is really cool. I like that. That is really cool. Now, obviously, for kind of structural reasons, you may want to move this somewhere else, but this works for us for now because, like, this team screen, this is only going to there's only one team screen, and we're only going to be running this once in that one team screen. So it does what we want it to do. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
You could like pass in, I don't know. Some people don't like leaving the use layout empty.
So there'd be navigation,
navigation
next.
I would put,
stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. So let's actually see our data now.
All right. So you save or we guess we have to dump it. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll just do a simple scroll view.
And I will do my one job. Wait, did I do that right? No, I didn't. I think I did it right now. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So scroll view. Those of you in the audience have seen a scroll view before.
And we're going to get our team players.
Do we want a scroll view or like a flat list? Are we?
Let's do a flat list. That's actually better.
Okay, sure.
Good point. It's going to be a small list. So data will be teams. Key extractor will be teams, and then we have our teams.tid.
Okay. That's our team ID. Perfect. Key extractor. That's great. You always want to use this instead of an index. That's important.
Why is it complaining?
I think, let's see here. Well, what do we got for?
It's because
number.
I think it goes like item. right?
No, it's fine. I think we just need to coerce this into a string. So we can do that, and then it should stop complaining. Okay, yep.
Yeah. So then it's just render item, right? That's all we're going to need at that point. And we'll do item.
Hey, Ahmed. Morning. I think Ahmed speaks Arabic.
Yeah. Zayak Ahmed. He's so here's another cool thing. He's Egyptian.
Yeah.
When you want to say how are you, you say Zayak, and then
Zayak.
if someone like Lebanese,
yeah,
you would say kifak.
Kifak?
Kifak. Yeah. Most Arab speakers say the Lebanese Arabic is just slang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there kind of a little like they're just back and forth there? Yeah, they're just jealous.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stefan. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Player.
There are a lot of there's a lot of Arabic speakers just across the world, and especially, of course, in that region. So, yeah. Okay, render item. We've got an item. Team players. We're finding. So this is we're just looping through our players list and then finding the players that match that team ID. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the comment, Flexbox. I pretty much write a flat list daily every day at work, so I feel like if I don't know it at this point,
Yeah. Ahmed wrote something in Arabic. I can't read it.
Yeah, Ahmed, I do apologize, but it would probably take the rest of the stream for me to read that.
It is small, especially in the stream, because he doesn't have access to the same view. He's actually looking at it on the video stream, so it's a little tougher. But
yeah.
Anyway,
so to make this easier,
yeah,
Jamon, I actually do have a code snippet for the team.
All right, yeah, and then we'll just go over it. It's perfect.
Yes. Actually, just give me 1 second.
So, for each team, we're looping through this flat list, and we're grabbing all the players for that team. We would probably find a way to cache this. Whoops.
Yes.
We'd probably find a way to cache that. I'm going to go through and is there a way to just add all missing imports? There we go. Let's see. Do we not have a styles object yet? Okay, we don't probably.
I'll bring that in right now. Yeah.
Okay. And then
we can ignore the styles for now.
Image. Oh,
I will explain. Yeah. And there's a reason why I kind of want to go with these default. Create like our own custom text and image.
Oh, okay. So these are going to be custom images and custom text. Okay. Yep.
So let's just comment them out for now.
Okay. Yep.
And we'll come back to it. Let's just wrap up this one. Team card. We're going to need a key. And we'll just do
let's see here.
Team or item.id. Why is it? There we go.
Trying to figure out where you are. Click.
I'm at the teams.
Oh yeah, there you are.
67.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
We'll pass in team. And then this is actually a pretty cool part. We're going to pass
team
in
card.
an on press.
Sorry, slow down just a second here. So we have the team card, which is what we were just working on. Okay. And then we have in the flat list, you're returning a team card. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're giving it a key here. Yep. And then you have the team.
I take it back. We don't need the key because we're in a flat list.
Oh, and we already have the key extractor. Cool.
Yeah.
The team and then the on press. So when you tap this, we're gonna navigate.
Yes. And we're gonna
navigation.
We're gonna use the navigation. I don't know why.
That prop, yeah.
Yeah. Navigate.
Navigate.
And we're gonna go to players.
And we're gonna go to a certain team though within those players.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go to like the player list, and then we'll have the team name, for that, and that'll be team.name. Remember, we set this up earlier, and it'll just be players, and then it'll be team players where we set up.
Which we got from up there on line 63. Now, the team name, I think we may have named it something different. Is that right?
If I go back to the types. Oh, we never... Here.
Oh, didn't you? Okay, there it is. Okay, and then player instead of players. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ahmed's said some more in Arabic. My apologies, Ahmed. I can't read that. Otherwise, I would. But we will keep moving on.
Yeah. So...
Okay.
Well, I don't think this is teams. This is item.
Oh, because we passed it in as item. Oh, actually, that's the default. You have to kind of pass it in as item. We could assign it, reassign it, stuff, but that's fine. So item is team here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does actually pick up on the type there. So that's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
We could also update our type where players can be undefined.
Okay.
Strict. And then we'll put in like, hey, if it's undefined, you navigate out of it kind of thing.
Now, it was complaining that player or undefined is not players. Oh, I think we need to... Wait, what?
Oh.
Why is it complaining about that? Shouldn't team players be...
Sorry.
Oh, instead of find, it should be
find.
filter. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, TypeScript. They found a bug.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
always fun.
Okay. Do we have style sheet imported? Nope.
And where are you grabbing that from? Where's style sheet?
React Native.
Oh, you mean just the basic style sheet? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got it down here as styles. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that we shouldn't have any error now.
no errors. Yeah. It's blank right
Cool.
now, but it's
it's blank because we didn't
import the text or build the text.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let's do that. But before I do that, let's add in just a quick. I have this content container style styles.container, and I'll just add some extra padding on the left and right. So okay.
And you're down.
Now,
oh yeah, doing some styling. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So this goes into the first reason why I want to do what's it called? A custom text component.
Okay.
So let's create that, and we'll just put it in components for now. We'll call it text.tsx.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me know when you're there, Jamon.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. So there's a reason for this, and here I'll get to it as soon as I build it. So we're just gonna return the React Native text.
Oh, and we're gonna import that as a named and we do this
text
in
is.
Ignite as well. Something pretty similar from React Native.
And and it's just because I'd like to just kind of keep text kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just the way I had it set up in the player card was it was a value that was being passed in as a string.
Okay.
And I know I had other stuff, but we're going to have to create a type.
A type for the prop. So, void function component.
Yeah, that's actually something on the current project that we're working on where we kind of want to have all the components exported as React function components.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like...
But void function component, I haven't seen that before. I wonder what the difference is there.
Well, it's... Yeah, or you could just do FC. They're the same, essentially.
They are? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I read like a while ago that they did not recommend doing this for some reason. And I don't remember why. I'm going to have to probably dig up that. I know it's actually common. It's common to define them with that. What they said was essentially just define your props. like, and then pass that in. But I kind of like this better because now it's saying, okay, you have to, you obviously need to, your return type needs to also conform to a React FC as well. But
yeah,
it's all good. I'm gonna import this,
and this is kind of where we'll now get into some internationalizations related stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll just set up, we'll do something simple. Font size. Let's pass in a, what we call typography.
Okay.
For it, and we'll default it to P1.
Okay. Should we put that as
again,
oh, never mind.
Sorry, I do have some default types.
Nice. Yeah, they'll just speed things up. So essentially we have H1, H2, P1, P2. They're just font size, font weight, line height. Perfect. That sounds good.
And we'll just set color to black, just to simplify.
And then typography is going to be
string, or
those.
Or we could just do typography.
Oh. Duh.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool. So I am getting an error.
Default error. Styles not assignable to text style.
Maybe it's because of the whole unfurling of typography. No.
So these are all text styles, right? So the one thing we can do is say typography. I'm misspelling it. Typography equals, and then you can essentially do like key string, and then here is a text. I think text style, right? So actually, is it complaining about I did it twice there. So this is a typographies, and then I can go like here, and then that defines all of these as being as being those. Now, did that actually fix it?
It did.
Oh, cool. Okay. And just the trick here is basically like we want these internal things to be typed, but we don't know what the key is going to be because we could add more keys, right? And so we're just going to say that anything, K can be anything. This could be Mazen if we wanted to. We don't care. Like it could be any word there. That doesn't matter. This matters though. The string, like the string, any string key needs to be a text style object. So a little fun thing there.
Now this is the fun part where for iOS there is a prop called writing direction.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just import i18 next.
I'll do that.
And there is i18 next comes with a function called dir, dir for direction.
For direction. Okay.
So if direction is right to left,
okay,
we basically want to say writing direction is right to left. Otherwise, it's left to right.
Okay. Now, would you could just pass in the value from dir, right?
Oh yeah, good point.
Because it looks like it just returns right to left or right to left to right.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yep. Now for Android, and we can kind of try this later if we get to it. So we can put a comment here, iOS specific.
Okay.
And we're gonna probably have to do like flex 1 to then do
flex start
line items, flex start versus flex end. But we can come back to that when we get to Android and just kind of see how that works out.
That's actually really helpful to people watching this, where they can kind of see why is Android, behaving differently and stuff like that. By the way, John Major says, I wonder if it's because of consistency with hooks, because you wouldn't use React.fc with hooks. Interesting. I mean, we do, right? We do use React.fc with hooks. There's something about children and the way that children are handled with React.fc. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's working now, so we'll call it good.
Yeah. So if we go back to team screen,
Yep.
and good thing you have the simulator up. I could just uncomment some of this stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna get rid of color because we'll just have all our colors.
Typography.
Black. Did we mistype it?
Oh, we're importing text from the wrong place. We need to import it from, let's see here. Whoa. Okay, my editor's. All right, let's just do it here. So import text from components text. And then now it appears to be working. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, hold on a second here.
Cool.
Let me.
We could actually just do this too. We'll just use the React Native.
Why is that not working? I wonder.
It's not working.
Well, TypeScript, not to get too far off here, but TypeScript doesn't seem to be recognizing typography. Oh, it's just saying, oh, I see. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I wonder if that works. No. So it's not actually picking up on, so typography, the typography is just string or number for some reason. Even with the key of type of. And I'm not really sure why. I tried with the as const thing, but that doesn't work. Key of type of should work here. Is it because I did this? Yeah. Okay. Weird. Okay. So these strings. It's not just string. It should just be like H1, H2, P1, P2. So it's almost like we need this, but this is like this is not good. I don't think this will work because it's a circular type. Index signature must be string, number, symbol, or a template literal. So we're losing our type information here, which is unfortunate. Just because of this here. So yeah, this is kind of a weird situation. I don't know. It's not the end of the world. I don't like losing that. So what I'm going to do, there's probably a better option here. But I'm just going to make that explicit. And then, and that means that I can then, whoops. Hold on. Sorry. That means that I can then do that. Still doesn't like that.
Doesn't like that.
Cannot be a literal or generic mapped object type instead. Okay, well we'll leave it. It's fine. Okay, we're fine. We're good.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, so if I go back to my team screen, I just added the image with some sizing, and we should see our images on the side.
Kenneth says void function components do not show children in TypeScript. So that would actually fix the problem of, and that's why you're using void function type. That actually makes a lot of sense there, because I think the children thing was an issue before, but by doing void function type. Okay, thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate it. John Major says good point. VFC you should be able to use with hooks since it doesn't expect children. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right,
so,
now I need to find you.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So one thing we'll also add into text is we will let the user pass in styles also.
Okay.
And I think what we'll just do is we'll do props and then extend
Okay.
RN text props. That way,
extends.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
I've run into this before. RN text props. You kind of have to create its own type.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. Just a little like TypeScript limitation there.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
So we'll say styles, and
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry,
here.
it's style. Sorry. Yeah. So just reason for that is if we want to pass in our link,
Right.
we pretty much have we want to pass in an on brace. I know this is not. We would use link instead.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
But this basically is like, I want to inherit all of the original props and then add topography and value to it. And by the way, I think I can get rid of this now, and it should still, yep, it works. Okay, cool. And by the way, if I go, will this complain? Does not. Oh, well, that's fine.
No.
Let's keep moving.
That's fine.
I get
So now
distracted.
if you look at your app.
All right. Save. Then, wow. Hey, look.
Good. Yeah.
There we go. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Algeria,
let's do
Lebanon,
some
Palestine.
like manual toggling of the language
Okay. Yep.
also, and just see what happens. But before we do that,
Okay.
let's talk a little bit of like what do you have to do with right to left?
Okay. Yeah.
So if we're on team card,
Mm-hmm.
are you on there? Yeah. Okay.
Let me find team screen. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're gonna just create a new value. Now, again, this can be put into a hook or its own constant file somewhere else.
Okay.
But for now, let's just set it here. Actually, why don't we do that? Let's go to i18n and create a new file. It'll just be a simple, like a utility, and we'll just call it is rtl.tsx. And really all that does is just exports
The
a
function.
constant is rtl, and it'll go i18 next dot direction is equal to rtl.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
I need to import.
Save that. Let's see.
Okay, now there we go. And then if I come back to team screen, so we now have that. Let's import it. Import is RTL
Mm-hmm.
from. Okay, so we now have our function.
I think we need
And
that.
yes, sorry, good catch.
Yep.
Now I created these styles. If we go further down, we'll see we have row.
Okay.
Row
right.
has a flex direction row. So
Yep.
that's like the first thing. If you ever find anything that's direction related,
Yeah.
we need to make a change to that. So if we come back up to the top, we have styles.row,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and we'll pretty much just say flex direction. We could remove it from the style below,
Yeah.
and we'll say is RTL.
Okay.
If it's RTL, we're going to do row reverse
Row reverse.
or row.
I see. So
Now-
it's because I was thinking like, well, row is row, like it's the same. No, you're right. You got to reverse it if you're. Yeah. Okay, that
Now,
makes sense.
If you're looking at the simulator, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
if we weren't to do the reverse, you would still have the image on the left,
Right.
and your writing on the right will read right to left.
Thanks for the follow, Justin.
Yeah, and then you'll have Algeria stay in the top left. But now what we want to do is we want to kind of flip everything around and
Move
have
that over.
the text and the image on the right hand side.
And that makes sense because like right now the text is kind of like lined up, and I don't know why my cursor is messed up. Okay. The text is kind of lined up with the edge of the image, the logo. And if we flip this, it would look weird because essentially you would have the text lined up on the right side and it would be kind of a jagged edge on this side. So it's better to flip that image over to the right side so that it looks good.
Yes.
That makes sense to me. Okay.
Now, there's also another aspect of this where if you look at line 23, we have styles.team.info.
Yeah.
Styles.team.info has margin left, and it's a number. Well, that's interesting because when we flip and we give it a margin left,
Yeah.
Which is our text, the left is going to be on the left edge and our image is on the right. They're then going to be touching.
Okay.
So we pretty much then also need to do something very similar and just say, is RTL.
Actually, can I ask you to not do that first, and in fact, not do the flex direction, just so we can see the consequences of not doing it?
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes. I like that idea. So I'm going to remove it.
Yeah, yeah, and then we'll come back and do that once we kind of see why it's a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So
Perfect.
Now that we're here, let me actually set Arabic and save.
As the fallback.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. And then I got to refresh here. Okay. Yeah. So now we have a situation where there's some stuff kind of left aligned here. There's some stuff right aligned. It's kind of like jagged. It doesn't necessarily fit the right way. Okay. Makes sense.
Correct. Yeah. So if I bring back all that I did here, and I'm going to save.
Now it's like there, but we're missing some padding there.
Correct.
Against the image. Yep.
Yep. So then now if we just say is RTL, I cheated a little bit and I have a styles.team.info RTL.
Okay. Yep. So that'd be one way to approach it, is to just have a different block for that. And then it shows that. And actually, can we go look at that? Team info and team info. And essentially the difference is whether it's a margin left or a margin right.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Now, here's another thing I wanted to try is let's undo this. And if I scroll down, instead of doing margin right, I'm going to do margin start. Because we are going RTL, it should work the same. Because it already knows that we're
We'd want to do that on this one, I think, right?
Yes, you're right. Yep.
Did that not work? Did not work. Or is it margin end?
It didn't work, but that's, I believe, let's try something. Let's do, what would happen if we did, let's add a flex direction to this also.
Oh.
Let's see. Because I think margin start and margin end probably need to know that they're flipped, right?
Okay. Something not quite right there.
It kind of
worked, yeah, but I don't know why this...
Probably because of the flex one, honestly.
Let's see. Huh.
No. Okay.
Okay, so let me think about this.
Oh, no. Hold on. This is actually pretty cool because we don't want to do row reverse. We want to do column.
Oh, this is a column.
Reverse.
Column reverse. Ah, okay. Now we're still missing for some reason. Is it? So this is this was margin left before? No, this I think. Yeah, it's actually margin end is what we want, no margin start.
Let's try that. Yeah.
Because it looks like it's working.
Yeah.
So margin end, because when it was the left to right, it was margin right. And when it was right to left, it was margin left. So margin end kind of makes sense to me there.
But it's actually not going to work when we go back to English.
Oh, really? Let's try it.
Yeah, because we need margin start, right?
Let's see what. Let's see if that. Okay. And you're right. Yeah. So okay, that won't work. Okay. Interesting.
So we just learned something new today.
Yeah. So thinking about this, margin end, margin start, margin left, margin right. So how would you fix this, or is this just a situation where you just drop in another block?
I believe this is where you would drop in another
okay.
block. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So RTL, and then this would be margin. Sorry,
end.
no. margin
and that would be start.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
And then it works.
So,
and then this RTL then would need to be picked up, and I'll let you do that. Yeah.
So it would be
is RTL.
Styles, that, and then styles. Yeah. So this is a good example
of
a random scenario where you
do
need to handle stuff like that.
And you have to test both of them, yeah. Kenneth says, rather than using margin left with a call to RTL, why not try using margin start? Well, yeah, that was sort of what we kind of just went through, Kenneth. Mm-hmm. We might have a little bit of a lag here, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That is
so
cool.
Now let's do our team. Our player screen, right? Because we're going to click on
when we click on
the card to go to player. Yeah.
Navigate.
So let me create a new
doesn't work right now.
Screens. Yeah. So I'll do players screen.tsx.
And by the way, actually, this is a good short break time, Mazen. We've been going for about 90 minutes. You want to take about a 5-minute break. I like to do this with guests just to kind of give a little break in between, 5 or 10 minutes, and then we come back, and then we'll tackle the player side of it and see how that goes.
Cool.
Sound good?
Like
okay,
that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just shut off your video and mute, and then we'll be back after a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right. See you in a bit. And I'll see you all in a bit myself. Got myself some more coffee. Mazen's back. All right. Yeah, I like to build in a few kind of breaks here and there, just kind of not make it such a slog, you know. You're moving fast though, Mazen. You're moving really fast, and it's good. Like there's a lot of great info here.
Tell me if I need to slow down.
What's that?
Let me know if I need to slow down.
Feel free to take your time. It's totally fine. But Flexbox says 10 squats, and he says thanks for the stream. Have a nice day. So he must be leaving. He's in France, so it's pretty late for him. Break in progress. Yeah, there was, Mateo. Welcome back, by the way. Anyone watching know what library they use for translation? So we're using...
There's 3.
i18n, i18 next, React i18 next, and then just i18n, right?
Well, no, the third one is Expo Localization.
Oh, Expo Localization, which we haven't got to yet, have we?
Yeah. No, I'll talk about that. Next.
Okay. And by the way, thanks for the follow, Gonzi9. Appreciate it. Cool.
One thing to keep in mind too is the reason why we need React i18 next was mainly for the hook. It has really good TypeScript support.
Yeah.
And then i18 next, which I believe is the same authors for React i18 next, and they kind of connect into each other. But i18 next is mainly for like initializing and setting things up.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. By the way, we had a question from Rompe Prep. Why is such a cumbersome design of the broadcast hard to read from the phone? Sorry, I don't speak English. Yeah, totally get it. And I get what you're saying. From a phone, it's not going to work so well. And sorry about that. I actually do intend to improve the design, the layout of this broadcast for dual coding. I'm going to make the text as big as I can, but to be completely honest, you're probably not going to have the greatest experience from a phone watching this. So, just doing our best here, but I admit, there's some issues in terms of if you try to read the text from a phone on this. All right. Hey, Danny. And then we have a spammer. Hey, there are actually a couple of spammers. Derek, if you're watching, can you go to YouTube and make sure that those get dealt with accordingly? Awesome. Let's move along.
Cool. The next one is the player screen.
Right. So we're going to be able to click through and see the players.
Mm-hmm. So the player screen, and we'll have pretty similar to the last one, navigation and route, and native stack screen. Oof. I think I misspelled it. Stack screen props.
Okay.
Which will also take root stack param list.
Import. And wait, what the? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. I'm totally screwing you up.
You go ahead. Should I start over?
Let me undo to...
Keep going, yeah.
Oh, I see what it's trying to do there. It's trying to export it. I accidentally clicked that. Okay, let's try this. Import from native stack. Okay, got that. Root stack param list. And then this will be not new type, but this is going to be players props. Is that right? Player screen pop.
Well, let's actually just put it here because we need to pass in players like that.
You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. That's a better way to do that. Then root stack param list. Then I need to import that from our types.
So
did that all work? It looks like it did.
It looks like it, yeah,
cool.
So if you remember, we passed in team name, right? So that's just route params team name.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, we just do something. Cleaner.
do a destructuring.
Yes, destructuring. There we go. I couldn't figure out the word myself.
From route params. Yeah.
So there we go. So we have the two.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use navigation just to kind of go back, because if you remember, we said players can be undefined. Or let's say players.length
is 0.
Mm-hmm. We'll just do navigation.go back.
So yeah, you're in the wrong place, buddy. Out of here. Just go back. All right.
And then we'll do, if you remember, the use layout effect, so we can set our title, so we know what we're looking at here.
By the way, this i18n next on language changed, we probably want to return. This is over on the team string. Do we want to return some way to like i18 next off language changed? Is that a thing? Off?
That's a good question. Yes. That might just be Copilot, no?
It looks like it actually worked. Event listener removes all callbacks when the callback is not specified, but we are specifying the callback, so it will remove this callback. So the reason we want to do this is if this team screen is removed from the stack somewhere and then we change the language, it would crash, because it would be like, I'm trying to set something that isn't a thing anymore. So it's also a memory leak in some cases. So.
So let's also actually just copy and bring that over, because we're going to do the same thing essentially, but instead of teams, we're going to do something else. We're going to do players of, and this is, we're actually going to do this two different ways.
Okay,
and
interesting.
I prefer the latter way, but we'll just look at it now.
We'll try this one.
So
So the players of this team name. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a simple string, right? I remember someone asked earlier on about, like, how can you set a value in...
Interpolation, right?
Interpolation, yes. So let's do this. Let's go to...
Exactly, Mark.
English.
Yep.
en.json.
Okay. And
for players of, we're going to do another one, and we're going to say team name.
So that's that interpolation.
Yes.
So we can pass
now
that.
We'll do the same thing in Arabic. So Arabic's a little
more difficult to probably. Okay, gotcha. So this is players of, and then that's the team.
When you're keying through Arabic, you kind of have to go the other way, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Right to left. So it's a little bit hard to navigate a string that's all Arabic, but
the world's set up for left to right, and you're kind of like trying to navigate through that. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
So now that we have that, we have a much simpler function here.
Okay.
Where all it is it just takes in your value. So you just say team name.
And the team name, is that localized? It would be localized because it is taken from the data, which is already localized.
Correct.
So we're good. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Exactly.
Very
so
cool.
if we import all that, we should be able to see
I
this in
forgot
action.
You got one job, Jamon. Go do it. All right.
Probably just need to return.
We do have this line 7.
We do need that.
Use translation. And then i18 next. I need to import that. And use translation. Need to import that. I think all those got pulled in the right way. Cool. All right.
So if you refresh the app and just kind of click in the card, just let's confirm that it's working. You'll see players of.
Navigate with payload. Players. So I think there's a capitalization issue here. I could be wrong about that, but I think Well, I'll try it again here. Navigate with the payload, players, params, team name, Algeria, players, blah, blah, blah. Whoops. I think we did lowercase player. Do you have a screen named players?
Yeah.
It is player screen.
Oh, I know why. Sorry. If we go back to index, we don't have a player's screen stack.
Oh, we just need to add the stack. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay.
Add the screen to the router. Mateo says, "Yep, you found our error." All right, let's try this again. Cannot find variable. Oh, I need to import it. All right, save that, and then we're gonna ensure that we're good, and then I'm gonna click through, and hey, players of Algeria.
Okay, perfect. So basically setting in the value did work for team name. So
yeah.
That's good. So
yeah,
that's one cool example there.
Yeah.
So let's just display these players in a flat list again.
Perfect.
So players. We'll do a key.
Boy, it does not want me to import it. Let me.
Is it because we both can't type at the same time?
I'm not sure, but I'll just do it up here and we should be good. Okay. Flat list is there. Players.
We'll do a
player PID, key extractor. In this case, the player's PID is already a string, so we don't have to coerce it. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we're doing a view.
Just a random view, and we'll see why we want a view.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do also an image where we will.
Hey, Pedro. How you doing? Tervetuloa. You might be wondering why I'm speaking Finnish to a person named Pedro.
Yeah.
He lives in Finland.
You got followers and listeners from all over.
I know. I love it. I love it. Auto import, code completion, and similar stuff can be kind of buggy in live share sessions. That's what we've found. So basically, Mazen gave me one job, the easiest job, which is to import stuff, and I still fail at that. All right, view needs to be imported. Let's see here. Okay. There. And then is image going to be
React Native?
It is from React Native. It's not giving me that option. I'm just going to go up here and do it here.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And then text, I think we need to import that from our, and it's it's not giving me that option there either, but like import text. Whoops. Okay. Thank you, Copilot. It just automatically found that.
Cool.
Player. We need to grab the player, right? It's players. No, what?
Yeah. We're good. We should be good now.
Oh.
I just made a change and that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're
gonna add some
variable
styles.
player URL. Oh, was it not saved? It was probably not saved. It's working now. Hey, we even see pictures.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
So let's create a style sheet real quick.
What do you think of style sheets versus just doing like objects?
Yeah, I don't mind them either way. Yeah.
The only thing is
let's do an object.
The only thing is typing them. Hey,
Yeah.
do you want to show? You want me to show you a trick?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that time is rolling here, but I can't help it. It's related to the previous trick. So the question is like, could we do one object, like a const styles, and then have our styles, but have them actually be, like in this case we have like, I don't know what you might
Let's
have a
just say
player
row.
or a row. Okay. Yeah. And then you want this to be like a view style.
Mm-hmm.
How would you do that? This is a trick question. I know the answer.
Tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way that this works is you go type my styles. We're going to delete all this and just go with whatever you were going to do. But
No, we'll do this actually.
Okay,
I'm actually
cool.
interested in this.
So view styles. String, right?
Ooh.
Style. Whoops, no. Like that. And then we would have text styles, k-string, and this would be text style, right? And then then you simply would say, what is row? Well, it's a view style, right? And then you would move that in there. And now row, if I were to, for example, this is a view style, so we can't do what would be a font size. It's going to, whoops, I need to actually tell it what it is. It's going to say you can't do that. Interesting,
That's
huh?
awesome. Yeah.
It's kind of a tricky way to get around that problem. But like anything in view styles has to be view. Anything in text styles has to be a text. Now, it makes it a little harder to like group things other than by that type. But it also makes it so I don't have to go through and say, well, row is a view style, blah, 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 So it's just kind of a cool thing. Let's see, what are we in here anyway? We're in the player screen. So this is like player screen styles. And then, and now like,
so I could leave row there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And do, what I need, like just
and it should
align
autocomplete.
items.
Well, I don't know about with live share, but
with live share, it says it wants to autocomplete.
Yeah.
And then, it works sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just add in a margin vertical. Yep. Which also works. That's awesome.
That is super cool. I've never actually used this in an actual thing before this. It's just been a concept that I've had. So I kind of like it.
So yeah, if I refresh that should work then.
Selecting the word with Command D and then opening the Command dot menu works better when I want to import stuff. Huh, interesting. Side elbow cough. I'm sorry about my coughing, everybody. This is, post-COVID stuff. It's getting better, but not like perfect. Mateo says it's good because it offers IntelliSense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, you could possibly do this with a style sheet as well, but stylesheet.create doesn't give you anything that others don't. Oh, you know what? Here's another problem with this. And that's that you would then have to do styles.viewstyles.row, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of annoying. So what you can do is have a function that's just like a style with a key, and then and that's just a string.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can then return styles.view or this, and then essentially when you do, I think it will figure it out. Let me see if that works. So I don't know if this will work. I'm actually really curious. Style, and it knows that it's a view style. It does know that it's a view style. Like TypeScript figured that out. So that's really helpful.
That's awesome.
It's not like perfect, but it's something. It's an interesting idea anyway. So okay.
Well, back to our other item
yes,
where we talk about flex direction, and then is RTL.
Yep. Because we have pictures on the left right now, and they're lined up. Flex there.
and I'll import.
Mateo says, fun fact, style sheet create actually does nothing. It's basically just style sheet equals create style, return style. He says, Saad says, how do you say that? S-A-A-D?
Saad.
Just Saad? Okay. Saad says, I didn't understand that's a cough emoji. I was impressed by the tricks that Jamon showed and thought that's a dab emoji. Hey, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I didn't even see the emoji. It just came through as a elbow cough. Which I have been coughing. Item separated component. Cool.
Just to kind of have like a
divider
in between each one.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
By the way, I have some ideas on how to make this cleaner too, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, go ahead.
I really like that. I think we should.
Yeah. There's a way to make it so that you don't have to do the style function there, but we can come back to that some other time. Another that could be another stream sometime.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there's one more thing I was going to add to this, and I kind of want it to be where we have the player's name, and then underneath that player's name, we're going to have his or her number.
Okay.
And this will now also bring us into like one other item that I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
So in English, when we're translating, we'll say, player's number, we'll put the hashtag or pound sign, I think.
Octothorpe.
Yeah.
Nerd.
And it's just player dot number, right?
Nice.
Well, item, because
it'd be item
in this. Yeah. Item dot number. So if we refresh, we should see it show up. Yeah. Now.
And are they literally just in order here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that common in football?
Yes, usually by number, sometimes by position. But yeah.
Like that's the jersey number?
Yes, their jersey number.
And they just go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, jersey number are mainly by position.
Okay.
So 1 is usually, I would say 99.9% goalkeeper.
Okay. What about the backup?
Also goalkeeper. 13.
What's that?
13.
13 is the backup?
Usually, yep.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay. Because like in some of these sports, like, Gretzky was like 99, like he just picked it and that's what he was. So
some goalkeepers are 99.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I kind of put them in there.
Yeah.
Usually your starting 11
in
soccer are numbers 1 through 11.
Okay.
But nowadays you get the non-typical, like 13 is the starting goalkeeper, and then 17 or 18 is like the best midfield player on the team.
Oh, okay. So there's a little more personalization going on now. Okay. Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah. Cool. So obviously you have first name and last name.
Mm-hmm. Now,
number position.
Because we did our custom component, we are doing our translation left to right. So the writing direction is going right to left and left to right. So if we change the language and kind of come to the screen, it should work fine. So let me change the language, and if you can navigate back to the screen. Yep. And next thing we'll do is we'll like detect from all the
looks
devices.
Nice. Now we can click through. And we have everything's on the right side. We have their names, I assume. And then now, of course, there's the pound there. Okay. Yep.
Yes. So here's something that's very interesting in Arabic. The pound is showing up on the right-hand side and left-hand side.
It sure
in
is.
some cases.
Interesting.
Right? I haven't necessarily been able to figure out why that happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in some scenarios. Like,
right.
Not quite sure. So what would happen if we did something like, let's say I'm going to create a new constant, and I'm going to say, call it player number.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna so we're gonna say is RTL again. So if we're right to left, we will flip it. So we'll say.
By the way, Nygar MS, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I missed that. Player number is right to left. You have that.
And then let's just say, we'll call it title. We'll say item dot position.
Right.
Otherwise, go the other way. So do that. Oops.
Right.
And that, I believe that would work.
Okay.
Because we're now forcing it to go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So we'll change this value to just be player number.
Okay.
And position.
Now, some of them are still on the other side. The number does show up over there for some of them.
And it's flipped.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
It is really interesting. Huh, yeah. But I mean, I get what you're saying though, because like you're again doing some switching based on is right to left, and you're kind of constructing this as well. Now, I guess you technically could use the interpolation feature.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you were going to go there next, but
that was going to be like my next solution.
Okay.
So if we went back to like en, let's start off with en, and we're going to say we're going to call this player number position.
Okay.
Is going to be our translation, and it's just going to be that number.
Yep. And position. Okay. Yep. And then over on the.
Now, it's going to be very interesting with Arabic. Like, how do we do that, right? So we're going to figure this out together.
Yeah.
Do we flip it? And it's just.
Is that number thing an Arabic thing? Like, is there an Arabic version of this, or is it used?
It's that usually.
It is used. Okay.
I did actually have this conversation with my mom because remember I told you earlier where in Arabic you read numbers left to right rather than right to left. So I asked her, like, where do you usually put this hashtag or pound sign? Do you put it before or after? And she said, if you're reading it right to left, you would go hash number hyphen position.
Okay.
So you would go in this direction.
Now I'm curious if you put and you wouldn't do this normally, but if you put a space in between, if it would then normalize and all of them would stay on the right side.
Yeah, we could find that out really easily. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if that doesn't work. We'll go about it that way. So this is real easy because we're just going to do just common dot that,
and then we're going to
say.
You technically could just pass the item. I don't know if it would.
Let's try that.
I think you just. Oh, no! I think you just passed item without the curlies. So it's basically just you could just spread. Yeah. Kind of looked like it worked, although now. Why is that backwards?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Let's try. Well, we are on iOS, so writing direction should be.
Oh. Does it switch this? Sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think iOS does the flipping automatically. So if we went back here, we could essentially just tell it that, and it should. Yeah.
Except for somehow it is still switching. Okay, yeah. So it is doing that. Now if you save. Okay, so now they all stay over there. It's interesting, like when you have them next to each other, there is a strange like switcheroo that happens only sometimes. Mateo, by the way, I have something a little different in mind, but we can come back to that. Row and row reverse says sad. I'm not sure what actually that was in context of. Sorry. Yeah, interesting. I wonder why.
And that's all because of our writing direction, right?
Yeah.
So I think let's kind of table this.
Okay,
let's do the localization, so getting the language detection
perfect
done, and then we'll come back
Yeah.
and run it on Android and see what's happening on Android.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah. So if
that's something that could be figured out, but we don't need to fix it today even. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So next thing I'm going to go is I'm going to go to our i18n.tsx file.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to do something also. So I'm going to create const. I'm going to call it language detector plugin. Just a random name. Type is language detector. And for context, we have here our use, our init. So we're basically telling it, hey, package i18 next.
Yep.
Use the init from React i18 next.
Right.
But also, and then, to use that for these resources and its fallback. But I also want you to take this, what I'm calling language detector plugin, and also use it.
Use that. Okay.
Well, what is it? It's an async function.
Okay.
We don't really, you have to pass in the init. We don't want to do anything in init because we're going to actually do our initting globally for everything. But we also want to do what detect, which is, again, like I said, async function that has a callback. And that's just a language. Okay. In the callback. And it's void. It's a void function.
Okay.
Okay. What could happen here is you could say store a value in async storage, and then pull that value. So this could be if we create a button or something like that. We could kind of go off that way. Or there's the other aspect where we're going to use the device.
Yeah.
And what the device is telling us to use is localization, which is the expo dash localization.
Okay.
Dot locale. So we now know the locale of the device.
And
now it's weird. The import is weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We still have, I believe there's one more. You have to pass in cache, user, language.
And this is where we would store it in async storage.
Exactly. Store in async. Oops.
Yeah.
Store language in async storage.
Actually, never mind. Oh, I'm fighting you. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yep.
Okay, so we do have a TypeScript error here.
What's it saying? Properties of types of property type are incompatible. String is not assignable to type module type.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So I was hoping we could kind of do this in this file.
Yeah.
But it looks like we can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file.
We could also, just FYI, tell it that this is a module, and then it'll give us more. Is it module type?
Module type, yeah.
Oops. And then it'll give us more information about what's wrong. But okay, yeah, all right. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was just going to say we could move this into its own file.
True.
And export it, module.export.
And then
that's usually the examples I've seen.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that would matter here though. What? Let's see here. Third party.
Yeah. What's going on?
So type language is not assignable to type third party. So there's a third party type on. Let's see here. Not assignable type module type. Well, what is our... So module type... Oh, no. Sorry. Module type is not it. It is just module.
Oh.
It is just module. Module type would be the type prop, which is just a string. So now it's telling us async... async does not exist on type module. Do we need async module?
Oh.
Now I think it's okay. All right.
Nice. Okay. That's kind of frustrating that it's two different.
Yeah. Well, no, hold on.
Yeah.
It doesn't like that. Okay, there is no async module. Never mind.
So maybe it's just module, and I'm wrong that async is actually a value. Is a what's it called? Required.
Okay. Now it's saying it's not assignable to type module. May only specify known properties, and it does not exist on type module. Maybe module's not it. Let me go back to use here. Use is module, newable module, newable. So it's module, or newable module, or newable newable module, or newable module. So that's what it's kind of looking for in the use. What is the type of this? Third party module. Maybe we could just grab that and drop it in here and say, yo, we're one of these too. Let's try that. And then now, what's it telling us?
Like type?
Language detector is not assignable to that. So what is type looking for? Type is looking for just third party? Okay, that's weird. I don't get the difference there.
Yeah.
So probably not third party module. Well, if we went back to all of this, it was still complaining to us, right?
Yeah.
Property type are incompatible. String is not assignable to type module type. Even though module type, when I imported it, sure looked like a string to me.
Yeah.
Let me look back on this. No, it's not. Backend logger language detector, which is one of the ones we're looking at. Post processor. So, okay. So language detector's there. Yeah, so that is what that is a thing.
Yeah. So what's module then have? Does it have module type?
I would have thought.
Module only has
only
type.
module type.
Oh, here we go. I think I found it. We need language detector module.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, let me fix that. Language detector not module type, but module. And then we don't need module anymore. So now we can say this is a language detector module. And now we can get from that so detect is an issue. Actually, let me just click through to language detector module. It's type init detect.
Oh, it's because it needs to be returned. It needs to return
string
something, I believe.
Okay. So it has to return callback. No, what? No, callback since it's async.
Oh yeah.
We're returning a promise. You know what? That we don't need async there, right? Because we can just do the callback.
Well, I think also async would be there because of the, like if we're storing an async.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. So, well, I mean, we could still just do a promise style, but that doesn't matter. So it's the same thing. So,
is async storage installed? Because if it is, we could just do it real quick. It'll take 2 seconds.
Good question. Package. I mean, it should be.
No,
it isn't. Okay. Well, I could. We could just.
Let's just add it. Yeah, it'll actually be a cool thing where we'll do like a toggle.
Yeah, good call. Yarn add, and I forget the particular invocation here.
I think it's like at react-negative.
Let's see here, React async storage, and that's the wrong one. What is their? Oh, there's their docs. Okay, I'm in a different tab here. Sorry. All right, here we go. I found the command. Adding that, and we should be able to do some async storage stuff.
Cool. I just put in a quick try catch.
Oh yeah.
So we could do that. Yeah,
yep.
When you're ready.
Yeah. So import storage. Is it use async storage? Which one are we?
Just async storage.
That's what I thought from. Do we have to do the star as? That's the thing I don't. Cannot find. Oh, it's not React Native Community. That's what.
React Native async storage.
That's what Copilot thought it would be. Okay, cool. It's working now. Okay, so.
Perfect. So I created a key.
Oh, okay.
Settings.language.
Perfect.
So what is our language key going to be? And then in here, we're just going to wait async storage dot get item. Language
and we could do
key. Dot then.
And we could set that to lang, right? Actually, no, we don't even have to do that.
Because it's going to be a promise, yeah.
You're just doing it then. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we wouldn't really need async here.
Yeah. So we're basically going to check.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Return callback.
Excuse me.
If we have language, return language.
Yep.
Or do localization dot locale.
That kind of got mangled there, but yeah. By the way, Ahmed says, why don't you use the i18n manager to set the layout direction automatically instead of using is RTL row or row reverse? And Mateo agreed with that. It works, but you need to restart the app after doing i18n manager force RTL, for example, for it to take effect. You can also use React Native restart to restart the app automatically. Controlling all the views with styling seems like a lot of work, Sad says. Mateo says, I think it's enough to re-render the app once the force RTL call is made. Force RTL doesn't work without real restarting. Scratch that, it only works if you restart. I was saying at the beginning of the string, the only thing you have to make sure is align items flex start on views. Left to right doesn't have an effect, but on right to left it flips the view. Although that we found that it's not always perfect. Like there's some situations where it's you have to be like specific about it. Had the same issue.
Also, I think the ability to just kind of show that how it's done manually I think makes more sense for
more control.
Yeah, exactly. And as the developer you can kind of decide to create your own either like specific hooks that give you back specific styles for your rows and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, By the way, Breezen Skate says greetings from Germany. Guten Tag.
Cool. So I think that's it.
Welcome.
I wonder what's going on. Okay. Well, we need to also store it here.
Oh yeah. So this would be a set item situation.
Yeah.
So it still has callback.
Yeah. We don't care about
It's not assignable to type string renewal. You know what we could do here. Oh shoot. We could not set that. What? Callback is not. So I think. Oh, the callback is actually supposed to return a promise. So okay, so we just have to say promise void here. And then no, sorry. It's not assignable to callback type string.
Okay, we are return. So do we just need to like do promise dot resolve here?
We'd have to create a promise.
Right around.
We'd have to create a promise, but so okay, I don't really. So the detect on let's go look at language detector module for a second. So it's saying that detect is just a string. It returns a string. So detect can't be async. I'm gonna go. Oh wait. Language detector async module. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, let's get back to where we were. So now that detect is going to be a callback, I'm actually going to provide it is a void. So I can
there we go.
You got it to work? Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Sweet.
There we go.
Okay. We just had to have the right type. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Callback is not supposed to return a promise, but making it async makes it return a promise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
the
I
callback
believe-
doesn't return a promise,
Yeah.
but the async function does return but it's okay with that. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to care. In this case, yeah, we're fine. Okay.
If you refresh the app now, we should see it be in English in this case.
Did we save everything? Refreshing. Yeah. It's not in English right now. Oh, is the default? Where's the default fallback language? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you know what happened?
It got set.
When we saved, it detected it. Sorry, it cached it. It cached our current language, which was English, which was Arabic. Okay, so let's create like a button that helps us toggle.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So let's do that in the. How about like in the banner? How's that sound?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Right up here.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. Let's do that. So if we come into our screen, we'll do it in Teams. So you can only do it from that like one spot. And we'll do options, and options is an object, and it'll have a header, right?
Yep.
Which we'll do.
Would that matter for left to right, right to left? Should that be header right or header left, or is it not really?
No, you'll see it. We'll see it now.
Oh, okay.
That's actually
hold your horses, Jamon. We got it.
So let's do that here. So const language picker.
Okay. This is super cool, Mazen. I'm hyped about this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I I'm enjoying this right now. So I did some copy pasting because I had the word Arabic, which is Arabi, there. So we have that variable there already.
All right.
Let's just do, for simplicity, let's just do 2.
By the way, we have 25 viewers right now. Like, people are really enjoying this, and I think we'll get a lot of people afterward watching it. This is evergreen content. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody, by the way, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. So now you're doing a fragment.
And I'm just gonna map over languages, and we'll just do it, 2 buttons side by side.
That totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll call it
language. Yep.
And we'll do a pressable.
Okay.
In the pressable, because we don't care about internationalization here because we already have the labels. We'll just do lang.label. And then comes the fun part when we want to change the language. So on press. We'll probably need to change this up a little bit, just kind of put it in, because it's going to take up a lot of real estate. Maybe we'll create like a footer or something. So
I'm not sure why this
when you press it, is it lagging?
Text is not coming through. Do I just need to import it?
Well, yeah.
Or are we importing? Okay,
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter. So now this is the like quote unquote simple part.
Okay.
Of this, we're gonna use translation. So use translation. Do you mind importing that?
Yes, on it. We got from Mateo. He says header right should actually be a function returning a component, not a component. If you try to use a hook on the language picker component right now, it will crash. So we'll have to fix that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
So now that we have use translation, we've been using T this whole time.
Yeah.
But there's i18n.
Okay.
Coming out of it too.
Yep.
And i18n has a function called change language.
Nice.
And you just do lang.name.
Perfect.
And because we set up the detector to store to async storage, every time we click it, it's gonna store it, and then we close our app, open the app back. It should preserve all those changes.
By the way,
and we should see the changes happen real time.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. By the way, I did as const up here, which gives us lang.name is now a union. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, we need to do something. I think, some cleanup. Live coding, right?
Yeah, right. And then we do need a key on this one, which we could just simply do lang.name here.
Yeah.
So. Okay, and so now we have English and Arabic. So if I click English, it's there, and if I click Arabic, it's back. Super cool. Oh, and if I click English, refresh, still English. Click to Arabic, refresh, still Arabic. And if I click through, it's English, Arabic, Arabic. Really cool. That's awesome.
Now, you did ask a good question, like would you do left versus right?
Yeah.
I would prefer right at all points because you want the back arrow to always stay on the left.
Okay. So that is sort of a universal concept of the back arrow is on the left and other actions are on the right, even if you're in a right to left language.
Yes. So if you switch it to Arabic,
okay,
and you click on a team, I believe it wouldn't say team to go back to teams. It would say go back to
yeah. It's got that.
Now there might be, I haven't used any Arabic apps in the past, but there might be something where it says, you know how we navigate to our screens from
Yeah.
the right,
Yep.
essentially. What if it's reverse in Arabic and it should be on the left?
Yeah.
So that's some stuff that I'm not particularly sure about, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's ways to kind of change
That would be, yeah, that's an interesting thing. That would be like you'd have to do some research and figure out what your users are expecting, I guess. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, honestly, right now, we've done the gist of what we wanted to do right there. Like this is really cool. We have 3 football clubs. We can see all of their players, their numbers. Obviously there's more information we could put in here. As a fun thing, you know, I thought it'd be cool to have like a highlight video you could click on and show the highlight video. That doesn't matter because that doesn't actually apply to what we're trying to learn here today. But yeah, this is really cool, and it's on the fly. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's good
now,
stuff.
here's something pretty cool. Change it to Arabic.
Okay.
Close the app and come back in.
Okay, let's see. If I remember, do that and swipe it away.
Now, bearing in mind that we should be looking at async storage to preserve language, what we can do is we can get rid of all that and look at how we can change the system language and go from there.
Ah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're back in and it's Arabic again. Even though in i18n we have fallback as en. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So the easy way to do that is actually in the language detector. If we pretty much kind of, change this from an async language detector module to just a plain language detector module.
Right.
And detect always returns localization.locale.
Okay. Okay.
Then that's pretty much it. So
That's
let's just leave it.
Really?
That's it. So let's just leave it as a async.
And just return the callback and pass in localization.locale. Yeah.
Okay.
And then now it's English. And even if I go to Arabic and then, whoa, jeepers, what did I just do?
I think if you click it, it should change the language, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Where's VS Code here?
That's true because of what the button is actually doing. It's forcing it.
It's forcing
to change
it.
the language.
But I was going to show if I swipe it away and go back, load it back up, it should go back to English.
Correct.
Which is what we want in this case. Yeah, that did work. Now, if I were to swipe it away and then let's go into settings.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Like, what would you change? General? Yeah, probably general language and region, iPhone language.
Okay. And then we go to AR, Arabic. Change to R. Oh, it'll restart the phone. You're going to have to help me navigate now. I'm sure I can figure it out. Okay, everything's in Arabic now. Why is wallet not translated? Of all of the news is not. What the heck? Come on, Apple. All right, so let's try this again. And Arabic. Super cool. Just like that.
Perfect.
And even if I change it to English, swipe it away, and then reopen the app, it should be Arabic again. Ahmed says the Egyptian football team has just won a match versus Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire, yeah. Ivory Coast.
Should put it in the app. Mateo says, when I build my right to left app, my screen's the other way and the back button was on the right side. Not sure if it's the standard in right to left. Didn't have many users, but no one ever complained. Screens went the other way. I'm curious what Apple does in theirs. Not that they're necessarily the best of all time. But now that we're in Arabic here, I could go to what would be an example of an app that would be interesting here. So files, I guess. Okay, it's loading. think this is files anyway. Taking its time.
Well, if you notice in the files, the indicator, like home, is on the right versus the left. Right?
Is that normally on the right?
I believe so. I mean, I'm going to actually open up my phone and check.
You mean your phone's not in Arabic?
No, sorry.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
It is switched.
Mm-hmm. So it does seem like everything
does get flipped over. That's
flipped.
really interesting. So in that case, now, Mateo, what do you did with React Navigation, or did you use React Navigation? Did you have to restart your bundle? I did not. Ahmed.
No, Ahmed. The nice thing about using the package that we did, you can manually tell it language changed via button click, and everything should happen that way. It should change that way.
Ah, look here. It's back. That's back, isn't it? Or whatever the previous screen was.
Yeah.
So it is that way.
Mm-hmm.
It is completely flipped.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed that. Okay.
Well, it makes me wonder if React Navigation has like some sort of is RTL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's check on that. React Navigation RTL. Limited right to left layout support. We try to handle right to left layouts properly in React Navigation. However, the team is small. We don't have the bandwidth to test all changes. So you may encounter issues. Please help us, basically. So that is, they do mention that there is limited. Now, what
is there like a prop? Like, what is that prop?
Right. There's i18n manager, they say there. React Native Navigation RTL. Is there a prop though?
Oh, okay. I see what it is.
Okay.
They are using. They use. I think it's a React Native, like package.
React Native screens.
No, if you go to just plain React Native.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know there's a package i18n manager. Yeah. So if you're on VS Code, yeah, this one, we can kind of then do, something along the lines of this, where we'll say is RTL, which is a Boolean, and we'll say
I see.
It's false.
Okay.
And then we can kind of just say, do that. Definitely change the language.
Right.
And then if lang.name, no, lang.is RTL.
Okay.
Then .force RTL.
And that's that force RTL. Now,
True.
if we do that,
we could flip it.
If we do that, we're going to have to take some of our is RTL stuff out of our. So let's see. So let me.
There's also something else. i18n. If we want to like kind of limit it and just say like don't show English if you're in English, so the user doesn't click on it. i18n dot language.
Okay.
Actually returns the string of the language that you're on. So, if it's equal to lang dot name, return
right.
nothing.
So if it hasn't changed, or I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just to kind of reduce real estate, essentially.
Did you save? I don't know why it's not.
For some reason, it did.
It's not really
I have to save twice. Prettier save and then.
It's still doing the same. I don't know if maybe I have to save. Let me think.
I could be wrong about this though, but no.
If the language is equal to the name, are they what is language anyway?
Should be a string.
Let's dump that out on the screen too. So we'll go.
Yeah.
So it's what?
You need to.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It's AR-US and
okay, so there's another one then.
So it's AR-US instead of So we don't want that. I don't think. All right. It's not language. I mean, we could just do like, this is stupid. We could just do this. Now it works.
Well, oh yeah.
It starts with.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, like you'd probably find a better solution than that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Mateo says, I use React Navigation and got RTL to work with i18n Manager, force RTL true. Okay. It does if you use i18n Manager. I tried it that way and it worked. I have no idea if I can force it to...
You have to restart your bundle.
You have to restart your app. Force RTL can't be used unless you restart your bundle. Okay, I'll restart it.
I believe there is a package out there to like force restart an app.
Yeah.
Which we could also include.
But I think that what they're saying is, well, actually, I don't know. Let's see what happens here. So, comes in, it's Arabic. Click that. Whoa. I don't know why it likes to do that. Okay. So we're in English, and if I click through, everything looks fine. Arabic, click through, everything looks fine. It feels like everything's working, but we are still going the wrong way, right? So how do we fix that with React Navigation?
So click on Arabic,
okay,
and then restart the bundle. Well, when we had already like force RTL.
Restart right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then just reload. Oh. Dude, it worked.
Yeah. Cool.
Although it's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. It's not backwards. No.
No.
I'm wrong. Yeah, it's just staying on the same thing. So that's why you'd have to do the reload. Okay, that's what you all are talking about. That's what Mateo and Ahmed are talking about in that.
So basically, right now, what's happening is because the bundle wasn't reloaded, it's doing the whole RTL.
I see.
Process. Like the app says I'm RTL. So even though you're changing the language, you have to kind of restart the app after you force the RTL.
Now, you have to restart your bundler or the app. So like if I go, so I'm on English right now, and some of the stuff screwed up because we have the is RTL stuff. We would actually remove some of that stuff in order to make it. But if I just kill it,
I think it's just the app you need to restart. Yeah.
Just the app? Okay.
Yeah.
And a reload doesn't do it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, I'm slightly confused here. Let's see.
So let's actually redo before. Let's update our language.
Yeah, on the OS.
Detector, yeah, just to take the OS.
Oh, on the detector. Yeah. Okay.
Detector, sure. Yeah. So I just reverted that now.
Okay, you did. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so now I can go to English and kill the app and start it again here.
Okay, Ahmed's saying that React Native Screen's native stack has a direction option.
Oh, So we could use that instead.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's not switching again. But if I kill the app, it and restart it, it will.
Yeah.
Probably.
We probably also now can remove, Matteo mentioned it. You can now remove your own is RTL styling. And because of that force RTL, it kind of handles it.
Exactly.
It should handle it for you.
You just use what you would with the LTR, and then it forces it to be right to left.
Yeah. The one issue and the one limitation, though, is we need to figure out a way to restart the app, though, every time the language is changed.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
So it's one of two things, right? You manually use your is RTL styling. You could create some sort of hook or some sort of styling function that checks is RTL, and whenever it's doing, flex direction row, will always return row reverse.
Now,
so you manually control it that way versus having the OS control it and then having to restart the app.
So Expo has their own restart in, I think, Expo updates. I remember seeing this.
I always thought there was like a
reload async.
Okay.
So we could, and this is Expo, and it's a pretty small, and a lot of times, by the way, I like, so Expo install, Expo updates. We could, like you were saying, let's see, where do we change? That was in the team screen. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's setting the title when it.
We need to do it in.
Oh, the navigation.
What's it called? Yeah, navigation index.
And
Matteo said this will only work for dev mode. For production, you'll need React Native restart. Is that true?
Cannot be used in dev mode. So in Expo, it does not. So this one can't be used in dev mode at all. It only works in production. All right, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done that. The other thing here is instead of using UI or i18n manager, so I assume you left all the is RTL stuff in still, Mazen?
Yes.
Okay, so like without forcing RTL, if we instead go to the navigator itself and tell it to, let's see, so navigation, I am in it. Okay. So like, is there somewhere in this navigator, like, can we direction, or what did you say that prop was?
Yeah, that was a React Native screens.
Oh, that's React Native screens. Okay.
Yeah.
Switch direction. You can transform.
Yeah, but that's
that's manual. Okay, so this is, it doesn't. Well, this is a while ago. It's a year, 4 months, but okay. So in other words, they don't have that built in. I thought there was, but you said it was screens that has that, which makes sense because that comes out of Israel.
Yes.
And I don't know, is they're in that region where they're going to be dealing with that more. So what's this though?
I think that's someone like saying
this is an option.
I saw that. Yeah. Someone's like, hey, we should have this option.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. In other words, what they were saying with the i18n manager, and then basically with Expo updates forcing, it's not letting me do that. I did add that, right? Expo updates. Yeah, it's there. All right. Well, I'll import it manually. Import updates from Expo updates. Or is it just... Okay. Okay. Yeah, and it's okay. So then we would have to then check if not... is that how you write it? I always forget. If not dev, force update. So it'd be something like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking through React Native screens. React Stack has a direction option. Oh. Native Stack has a direction.
Native, yeah.
It's a drop in and only work in dev. For production, you'll need React Native restart. This package.
Router Flux. I don't know. Is that still a thing?
Updates reload unless you have a pending update. Oh, I didn't know that. React Native Screens has a native stack. Does work in prod for me? You put prev, but I assume you mean... Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? We're not going to solve it now, but you can see sort of the kind of the direction we're going here, especially if you're watching this later. I actually want to talk to people who are watching this later, on YouTube or something, and they're working on a right to left app, an app that has that localization, internationalization need. But yeah, if you're looking at this and you have this problem, definitely jump into the Infinite Red community.infinite.red. That's our Slack channel. You can jump in there. Mazen and I are both in there. So is Ahmed, and I think Mateo and some of the others are also there. We have 2 Ahmeds in the chat. That actually threw me off. I didn't know that there was 2. But yeah, what we could do is create a internationalization channel or something along those lines that we could, if you have any questions about that, you could jump in there. But the React Native, the Infinite Red community is really good for stuff like this. And probably by the time you ask this question, if you're watching this later, we'll probably have figured this out. Maybe. If not, someone will have, and you can post a question there. So we have about 10 minutes left. I just wanted to really thank you hugely, Mazen. I know we didn't get to everything, but honestly, this was super, super helpful to me in understanding what was going on here.
Yeah, it was nice to be on here.
Yeah, I hope you had fun with it. It's a lot. It's 3 hours of coding live. Live coding, right? It's not something you're probably used to, but you did awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. And I'm definitely going to have you on again, assuming you don't quit this afternoon after being forced into this. You were a good sport.
I'll still be here.
And we're gonna do stuff like this again. Hey, everybody in the chat, make sure to go thumbs up the YouTube video so that we get a lot of positive vibes on it. And thanks for hanging out with us today. Really, really appreciate it. And if you have other ideas, if you want us to do more RTL stuff, if you want us to, Mazen knows all kinds of stuff. So if you've got other things you want us to chat about, let us know. Let's hear. React Native Yoga can't change the direction on the fly. That's why you have to reload your bundle. Derek says, awesome, Mazen. I love watching the 2 of you pairing. Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank you, Derek.
Appreciate it.
And to Ahmed's point, I feel like the less you have to create the friction for the user to reload the app, the better.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's kind of why that is RTL hook or function is good in some sense.
Yeah. And maybe that's something that can be fixed at some point, yoga could be updated so that it could do that. I don't know. Now, the thing is, I think the most important thing is detecting the user's language. That, first, and then defaulting to that. If they want to, if they're like, yeah, I know my OS is in Arabic, but I really want to switch back to English. In that case, maybe they're okay with you popping up a thing. Okay, we're switching over to English. Please kill the app by swiping it away and start it again. And maybe they're okay in those rare situations with, okay, I get it. I have to do that. That's an option. i18n change language, then force RTL, updates reload async. That's, I think, basically what I have, more or less right here. So And you could try that, like see if that works. I think reload async works even without an. So reload using the most recently resolved immediately. So it'll essentially, even though it's async, it will essentially reload right away. And I do think that it will. I think it will reload even without an update. So, yeah. Ahmed says we need more Jamon and Mazen streams. Hey, I'm here for it. It's just prying him away from his client work is the tough part. Danny says, great stream. I'm going to have to rewatch this one. I'll probably rewatch it at some point. I feel like it was really informative. Ahmed says React Native localization can detect the user language. I don't know if you guys already tried it. We didn't try that one.
There's a lot of localization libraries out there. It's just a matter of which ones you're comfortable with.
We use Expo localization simply because it works with both Expo and non-Expo, especially if you use Ignite. So we didn't use Ignite here, but it's built in. Mateo says in dev mode, you can use dev settings imported from React Native. It has a reload method. Ooh. So we could, do we have time to like test that real quick?
Yeah.
So this would be dev settings dot reload. I like it. Okay, cool. So let's see if this works. I don't know. Did I?
No, looks good.
Dude, it just worked. Except for not there for some reason. No, wait, why didn't it reload? Okay, I reloaded manually. We're in Arabic. I click English. It reloads. Now we're in English. I'm going to manually reload just to see what happens. Okay, now if I click this, it does reload. Okay, now it's working. Now it's working. Every time I click it, it reloads. Thank you, Mateo. That's very helpful. Great. And then I assume, I don't know for sure, but I assume this will do the same thing. We'll have to test it.
Have to bundle the app.
Yeah. In fact, what updates should do is do this under the hood. It should just use dev settings under the hood, right? To me, that makes sense. Just use dev settings reload.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I will push this up. To a GitHub repo, and Derek will update the YouTube description to include the link to this GitHub repo, and so it'll be open source. Feel free to check it out and see what we did. Thanks again, Mazen. Really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and close down the stream. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll see.